Hello everyone, welcome to another one of my Leetcode videos. In this one we'll do Leetcode 93, restore IP addresses. This is today's daily challenge. So basically we're given a string of all digits and we need to try and insert like dots in the string to create valid IP addresses. And a valid IP address is basically like a set of 4 numbers which are all in the range of 0 to 255 inclusive, and we're not allowed to have any leading zeros in the number. So this is invalid because the middle number has a leading 0, but these are valid because all 4 parts have a number between 0 and 255 inclusive in them. So that's the problem, and our approach will basically be recursive backtracking here, because basically we want to try each combination and try to place the dot everywhere, and if something works out, then we'll reach to the end of the string and we'll have a valid IP address, right? And if it doesn't work out, we won't be able to reach the end of the string with a valid IP address. So this is quite similar in terms of like intuition to the previous video, Leetcode 491. So if you haven't watched that, you may want to watch that, but it's not absolutely necessary. So let's walk through how this would work. So basically in our backtracking, we'll process an index and we'll see, okay, can we put a dot here, right? So let's say we're processing 2, we have 2 choices. Basically choice 1 is put a dot, and choice 2 is basically continue with the search, right? And so you can put a dot as long as the length of the part is greater than 0, right? So because basically any number from 0 to 9 um, can have a dot. So basically you can always put a dot, but then in the choice of continue, this has some parameters. So you can only continue if the if the if the current part is in the range of 0 to 255, right? So it has to be in the range of 0 to 255, but also it cannot be a leading 0, right? So leading zeros are not allowed. So if you have something like 0 and 2, when you're processing 2, you can't pick the continue choice because the previous number is 0. So we can't actually continue in that case. So we'll just explore all of this, and when we reach the end of the string, we'll just make sure we must have inserted at least 4 dots. And as long as we've done that and we've continued generating valid calls to our recursive function, then we know that it's a valid IP address. So let's go ahead and write the code, and then hopefully this will become a bit more clear. So we'll have first a set of strings that will hold a result, and this is basically just so we eliminate any duplicates in case there are repeating digits and whatnot. So at the end, we'll be returning new array list of the set, so that matches the return type of the function. And now we'll call a recursive function. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. So I've created a recursive function. Basically, you notice that we have a string s, which is the original string. We have an I, basically at what index of the string we're processing. We have a set string result where we'll store a result. And I've chosen to represent the IP parts as an integer array just so it's easier to process. And this index tells us the next index where, if we choose to break apart, if we choose to put a dot, then we'll insert it at this index in the IP parts array, right? So that means if we choose to put a dot, we'll set this index of the IP parts array to the value that we came up with. And these two are just this is the part so far. So basically, as let's say we choose to continue, right, and we choose to continue with, like, let's say 1 and 2, then the part so far will be just that number, and then we need the length of the part so far, and this is just so we can distinguish a 0, which is like length equals 0, versus a 0 that's like a leading 0, because then we'll actually have a 0, right, with length equals 1, but the value of part so far will still be 0, right? So that will help us kind of address the case for leading zeros. So now let's start with our base case, right? So our base case obviously is if I is equal to s dot length. That means we've reached the end of we've already processed the last element. Then what we need to make sure is if our next index is 4, right? That means we should have placed parts in every part of the array, right? So that only if our only if we reach the end of the string and our next index is 4, that means we've already placed parts in every part of the array, only then do we add the concatenation of these parts to our result. So let me go ahead and write the code to concatenate these. So here's our code to concatenate these. We just stream the parts and collect them as a string, joining it by a dot. And otherwise we just return here, right? So if we've reached the end of the string and our next part index is not 4, that means we haven't finished the string with all the parts included, and so we just return, right? And the next case we want to check here is if our next index is 4 and we haven't reached the end of the string, right? Because if we did, we would have returned over here, right? So if our next index is 4 and we haven't reached the end of the string, that means we've cut the string too early into 4 parts, and that means we can't do anything with this. So we just return over here, right? Now let's get our current digit, s.card I minus 0, right? So this is going to give us the digit, and we can compute now the candidate number, right? So this will be basically the part so far, what we've had so far, times 10 plus the digit, right? So this will kind of append digit at the end of part so far, right? And that will give us our new candidate. Now it's time to exercise our choices, right? So our first choice is we put a dot, but again, we can only do this if the candidate is less than or equal to 255, right? Because if it's greater, that means we can't really do anything about this. So we can just say if candidate is greater than 255, then we just return, because we can't process this anyway, right? So now we exercise our first choice, which is we put a dot right after this digit. So to put a dot, what we'll do is we'll set our IP parts at IP parts next index equal to the candidate, right? That means we've kind of set this as our part, and after the recursive call we set it back to null because we're passing the same array reference. And now we'll just call our recursive function saying our string will be s, our index will be I plus 1, right? Because we've already processed the current index, now we're ready to process the next one. Result will be the same, IP parts will be the same. Now IP parts next index will be that plus 1, because we've already put the candidate in the current index, right? And then our part so far length will be 0 now, because we've already put the whole thing here. So for the I plus 1 case, the part so far length will be 0, and so will be the part so far, right? So that handles that case, and we then set it to null afterwards. Now otherwise, the second choice, we've already checked for 0 to 255, so the second choice to continue the string with this candidate, we can continue it as long as it's not a leading 0, right? So we need to make sure that we're not in a leading 0 case. So how do we determine if it's a leading 0? Both the part so far and the digit should be equal to 0, right? So if so far the path is 0 and the next digit is also 0, that means that we have a leading 0, right? And if this is the case, or if this is not the case, only then will we go ahead and continue the string. So we'll go ahead and call our recursive function continuing the same string. We won't place the candidate in the parts, right? So we'll say s I plus 1 results. We'll keep the same index, it won't be plus 1. And then for our part so far len, it will be part so far len plus 1. And for our part so far, it will be candidate, because now we have a new candidate, right? And we'll just recurse with that. So one thing I realized now is that since in our leading zero, we are not actually using the parts of our length. I think this is not really necessary because we just need to know the part so far and the current digit. So I'll go ahead and remove that real quick. Cool, so I've removed it from the different places, from the function and everywhere that was calling it. Also realized we need a semicolon here, and I think we've misspelled candidate over here. So let's now remove this and go ahead and run this code. Perfect, accepted. Let's submit. Cool, thank you so much for watching. And this is a backtracking solution. You can see that the pattern for these problems is really common. You call a recursive function with your string and the current index and some kind of result. And these are just things needed to tell your algorithm what you're currently processing, where you're currently at, right? And if you reach the end of the string, you kind of check if you have a valid result and add it to your result. And otherwise you filter out branches that are invalid, like if our candidate is greater than 255, or if it's a leading zero, we filter out those branches. And otherwise we keep recursing for the different options that we have when we backtrack. So yeah, this is a pretty common template where you can apply to any backtracking problem. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.